So in today's video, I wanted to talk about a couple of awesome Stadia perks that people may not know about, especially if you're completely new to Stadia and you've just joined this past year, or even if you're someone who's been around for quite some time. These 5 hidden features and perks might be something that could catch you by surprise. With that, before we start, if you're new to the channel, I cover Stadia and cloud gaming, so consider subscribing to the fastest growing Stadia community in all of YouTube. Also, smash that like button and notification bell for near daily content. So we have to start this video with what I think will be completely new to vets and new users alike. It's something called TANDEM mode. Not only that, but what TANDEM can actually accomplish, especially for people with disabilities. But with TANDEM mode, when you link your Stadia controller wirelessly to Stadia and you plug in a secondary controller into the USB-C port, that secondary controller will act as if it's the primary controller's buttons. So let me give you guys an example to what I actually mean. Special thanks goes out to Ross Stevenson. I'm going to have his Twitter link down below. His daughter Chloe for providing me today's footage, and she caught a virus when she was just 3 years old, and that left her partially paralyzed in her left arm and hand, thus making gaming a bit harder, and Dad has always wanted her to game. But with the magic of TANDEM mode, it includes support for up to 5 different controllers, and one of those happens to be an Xbox adaptive controller, which is what Chloe is using in the footage, paired with the Stadia controller. And as you can see, plugging in various different buttons into that adaptive controller makes it much easier for Chloe to press buttons with her left hand just by putting some weight down on it. Another cool thing to note, Dad is using the Stadia controller itself to co-pilot Chloe's gameplay by moving the camera with his Stadia gamepad, while Chloe is essentially doing all the other actions of exploring, moving, jumping, and doing her thing within the game. Now in the future, when Chloe gets a bit taller, she's going to be able to press down on a pedal as well to have her character move, thus making it even easier. And all of this is with the magic of that adaptive controller, plus Stadia being plugged into the servers via wirelessly and using TANDEM mode. This is easily one of the coolest ways to use this within Stadia, then coupled with Stadia's ease of use in general. And for me, this makes Stadia one of the best gaming platforms for those with disabilities, especially in my own very case with my little brother who has autism, who really enjoys how easy it is to launch Stadia games with just a couple of presses of buttons. Thanks again to Chloe and Ross for showcasing this, and again, full credit goes to them. Check those links down below. So keeping on the topic of how Stadia makes things so accessible, we have to talk the free-to-play games. Stadia at the time of this video has 3 free-to-play games. We have Destiny 2, Super Bomberman R, the 64-player battle royale, bringing in that classic gameplay, and lastly we have Crata, the sandbox game that has you creating and building for your fellow Stadia players. What makes free-to-play games unique on Stadia is the simple fact that you're playing on console-quality gaming, doing it through the cloud, completely free. You don't have to spend a single dime to join Stadia. You just make an account, you pick up and you start playing, and you never spend a cent. You can enjoy Destiny 2 and go through some of that older content, get dozens of hours of gameplay there. Super Bomberman R will give you that competitive fun and limitless gameplay. Then you have Crata, a game that you can get lost for hundreds of hours if you love creating or even enjoying other people's creations. Typically, you need a PC or a console to enjoy quality games of this caliber, but with Stadia, you simply just need a keyboard and mouse, whatever you own, or potentially just a gamepad that you have lying around. It doesn't matter. Now, if you're not new to Stadia and you want to convince friends or family, let them know about these games and this free-to-play stuff. Let them know you don't even need Stadia Pro, the monthly subscription, to enjoy the game. So for me, Stadia's free-to-play games are definitely a highlight and part of today's video. So another perk that doesn't get much attention anywhere and absolutely should has to be those wanting to be content creators or streamers. Stadia now allows the ability to stream your game straight to YouTube by a simple user interface, and all you need is to own a game. That is it. You don't have to own a Stadia controller or a console or a gaming PC or a capture card or anything along those lines. As a matter of fact, for the purposes of this video, my little brother's future channel, Gaming for autism, I decided to buy a game on Stadia and start streaming it to YouTube with this account, and I did. And I did this at the low cost of just buying the game on Stadia and from there streaming it to the world. From here you can create live streams, you can create let's plays, you can even create gaming VODs. There is no other way to get streaming high quality AAA games this cheap anywhere else. And if you want to stream straight from Xbox, you can, but you actually have to buy the console. The same goes for PlayStation. You also don't need to fiddle with things like broadcasting software because Stadia does all the magic from streaming the game to you and at the same time streaming the game over to the YouTube land. Also, the last thing to mention with this is you don't even need to buy a game technically. You can stream the free-to-play games we just talked about in this video and spend $0, yes, $0 to stream even those games, thus making this the absolute cheapest way to stream anywhere. Overall, very underrated feature and perk, and if you ever thought about becoming a content creator or streaming games, or guys, you can even stream your own games just for your own personal use, open up a YouTube channel, buy a game on Stadia, or simply play one of the games you own through Pro or even Ubisoft Plus and just give it a go. It's completely free and it's just an awesome feature, so definitely consider checking it out. So another hidden perk that you guys might not know about with Stadia, and we're going to continue with this theme of free again, only in the form of hardware upgrades. As Stadia continues to evolve in the coming years, the platform will upgrade on the back end, and as we recently heard, they could be even swapping in parts, servers, whatever the case may be. Stadia's goal for the future has been to eventually provide and be up there with next-gen gaming at all times. Now, Stadia's teams have gone as far as claiming 8K 120 FPS. I doubt we're going to see that anytime soon, but even recent games like Madden on Stadia provide almost, if not near, next-gen quality already. These upgrades will never come out of your pocket, unlike when you have to buy one of the newest consoles to keep up, or build up that newest computer, or buy up a new graphics card. As a Stadia user, that is nothing that's ever something you're going to have to worry about from your end, especially from your wallet. Google will handle those upgrades. So for me, this is a hidden perk, and one that I'm glad I never have to worry about personally. Alright, last but not least, and this is a personal favorite of mine, and a lot of you may know about it, but if you don't, for me this is single-handedly one of my favorite reasons I love Stadia, because it is so pro-consumer. That is the refund policy. Simply put, you get 2 hours to try a Stadia game. If you're under those 2 hours, you can then refund the game, no questions asked whatsoever. Not only that, but I've gone past the 2 hours before, and I've still been able to get some awesome customer service from the Stadia team, who's let me still refund if I'm not happy with the purchase. Simply any game on the Stadia store, new or old. If you are unhappy with how it looks, plays, maybe the game isn't optimized, you just vote with your wallet and you'll refund the game and go from there. This is an amazing thing that you don't see on the likes of the Nintendo, other platforms, because when you make a purchase on there, you are 100% stuck with that game. Here you aren't, and for me this is a game changer on Stadia because it gives me the freedom to feel confident in buying games knowing if I'm unhappy, there is a solution. With all that, let me know down below what perks or features on Stadia you really love. Let's mention those in the comments for those who are new or have been around but they just might not know. We can really keep people informed in this video on how awesome Stadia is. If you haven't already subscribed, if you're new, hit that red button, like the video as well, also hit that notification bell. As always guys, I'm Sunny and I'll see you in the clouds.